Okay, so we are seeing some sort of terminology like chef apply, okay, and resources, okay, and actions. So what are all the resources available, like a package, a file, directory, blah blah blah. Such a big list is there, and I mean it's there in my document, chef basics document. I have already shared this document with you. You might be gone through it. So in this document I mentioned package, service. These are all like some important resources. But apart from this, the many are there. If you wanted to know about the list of resources, you can go through it. And typically we write a script for chef in a format of a .rb, which is a Ruby script. And this Ruby script contains the set of resources and their actions together. Okay, and typically a resource will start with the resource name and like what exactly the things you want to perform and what. Okay, and do and end is the start and end block, like a flower basis. Okay, and we have tried like my different types of resources, file and service and package. All these things we already tried. Okay, now in the last session what I said, like apart from the resources, okay, and to run this to run this files, these files we call as the recipes. Okay, resources with actions together placed in a .rb file, that rb file we call as a recipe. Now we have a concept of collection of recipes together with some metadata called cookbook. Okay, now right now we are trying to play around on a simple workstation. See, we are trying to work on the workstation, right? Everything which is a workstation, config vagrant ssh. 16.10, right? Workstation. Oops, the VM seems to be down. Vagrant up. Is it the same case for other VMs so that we can make it up? This seems to be up. No. I think that is not our workstation, guys. This is what our workstation, if I remember. See, I can see the script. So ignore this. IF config. Let's check the IP address. 16.10. Yes, 16.10 is your workstation. Now, in the last session, we are playing around in the workstation machine. Okay, so in the workstation, we are trying to perform like written a script hello.rb, if you remember. Okay, so we did that. Now the thing is, let's move into the well-managed recipes. A well-managed recipes we call as a cookbooks. Okay, and these cookbooks will be having a standard template. Okay, standard template, nothing but example. I would say when you're creating a new Eclipse Java project in the Eclipse, right? What will happen? It will create an entire template. If you remember the Maven, guys, see, if I want to create a template structure of a war file, okay, or jar file, when I run the archetype, right, it creates the entire structure, src directory, java directory, everything it will create. So similarly, in chef, right, to create a cookbook, right, you need to prepare all the recipes together in a folder and all. There is a command available. Okay, so with that command, what you can do it, you can prepare a template cookbook. Okay, so the template cookbook you can prepare it in the workstation. So how to prepare a template cookbook? Look at in the basics. See, you first create a directory called cookbooks. You can create any directory, any name. So if you create with the cookbook, that will be fine. Okay, and there is a command called where is the command to cookbook? Create This is what the cookbook. Now you have to create a directory called cookbooks. This cookbooks directory is already there here. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do is, sorry, use this command knife cookbook create. Okay. So let's say hello world. This is what my cookbook name. Okay. So cookbook create, right? So just provide the hello world name. That's it. Now it will create a cookbook for you. Remember this command. Where is my document? This is. So now you should understand where we are using the bootstrap. Okay, sorry, knife command. So knife command is used to create the cookbook, but not only cookbook, it used to create all the chef objects. Okay, so cookbook is one of the object for chef server, right? Like we have like environment, roles, database, okay, attributes. So many are there. So we can use knife command for all of them. Okay, so create a cookbook, right? So this is what the command. And remember, when you're running this command, you try to run this before running this command, you make sure you have a cookbooks directory first. Okay, so now once it is created successfully, just check it out. It will be created inside the cookbooks folder. Okay, now ls-l, can you see hello world here? Okay, now you have a hello world cookbook here. So when you have a hello world cookbook, it's a directory actually. Get into this directory. Okay, now you can find some standard structure. Can you see some structure here? Like attributes, definitions, files, libraries, metadata RB, providers, readme, recipes, resources, templates. I'll explain you one by one all of them. Okay. Now at this point of time, you know only one meaningful metadata here, which is a recipes. Okay. You don't know anything about the resources, templates, definitions, attributes, and all. So get into the recipes. Now you see here you can find a default.rb. This is a template recipe which is available in the resources. There's nothing is there. It just created with the hello world recipe. Okay, and no code has been written. It's an empty file. Now it's your job to create, it's your job to write the recipe here. This is what a template. It's an empty one. Okay, empty cookbook. Now your job is to write something into this cookbook. Now what I will do it. We have written hello.rb, right? In the beginning, hello, somewhere in chef repo. Yeah, this code is there, right? Now what I will do, I'll take up this code, entire code, this recipe code. I'll put it into this default.rb. Hash nothing but commented, guys, in Ruby. Okay, so you can ignore those lines. You can just put, if you want, you can delete those lines as well. Right. Now look at this. This cookbook is with my hello.rb recipe. Okay, and you know what, here you can add n number of recipes here. Okay, so if you don't want it to add it in the default.rb, what I will do, okay, just look at this. I don't want to add anything into the, okay, first let's see this, then I'll show you multiple recipes together. Now there is only one recipe is there. Okay, in my cookbook, right? There is only one recipe is there in my cookbook. Now this cookbook, you prepared it and you call it as a hello world, right? So always come back to the home. So your home is chef repo, guys. Okay, in chef repo you have a folder called cookbooks. Okay, and inside that you have your actual cookbooks. Okay, now what next? I'm just deleting this directory. Okay, and delete this hello.txt as well. So once you have a cookbook, now next thing is, how do you run your cookbook in your chef workstation? So to run that, we will be using chef client actually. To run any of the cookbooks on the server, we use the chef client. But right now, we are not running the chef cookbooks on the server. Instead of running on the server, we are running on the workstation. Okay. If you look at the architecture of the diagram, typically the chef client will be installed on the nodes. Okay, now we need to run the cookbook on your workstation. Okay, so to run the cookbook on the workstation, we will use the chef client command, but the thing is we'll use it in a local mode. Okay, what do you mean by local mode? Nothing but within your machine it will execute it. You look at the command and you'll understand. Yeah, this is what the command, chef client local mode. Now let's try to run the cookbook, right? So, chef client is a command to execute your cookbook. Now only one change is you have to put your cookbook name. What is my cookbook name? Hello world, right? So this is what the syntax of your executing your book on your local. You might be thinking, what is the difference between earlier last day we executed a recipe with a simple command called chef apply space hello.rb. It's pretty simple. What is the difference between that and this? See, using chef apply you can run only one recipe, okay, but using the chef client you can run the entire cookbook, and that cookbook contain multiple recipes. Okay, not only that, it contains so many other functionalities of your application, okay, your system setting actually. So other functionalities and all your chef apply cannot do it, okay, but your chef client can do it. Now look at the options. Okay, so why I'm using sudo, because if any kind of a root access is required, now in this cookbook we are trying to install the Apache. Okay, installing nothing but you need a sudo, so that's the reason I put a sudo. And local mode nothing but I want to run this cookbook in my own machine, which is where I'm running this command, right, which is my workstation. So I want to run on that machine itself. Okay, and run list. So run list nothing but what are all the cookbooks you want to run. See, this is one cookbook. You can space, you can give one more cookbook as well, like in single quotes. You can, like suppose you have hello world one, you are like hide another one like ABC word, something like, you can give an entire run list. Now I'm just executing this. Please have a look at this, guys. Now it is executing the cookbook on your local machine. Nice.
So you're saying that inside bracket and outside bracket.
Outside the
So if you have another cookbook.
outside.
Okay.
Yeah. Why it is taking so long? Okay, done. Right, it's successful, guys, no issues at all. And if you want, you can access the things. Okay, so once it is up and running, like you should be able to access your index.html, right? So it's just DevOps, guys. Hello DevOps, guys. If you wanted to see, you might be thinking this might be old one, so I'll change something, then I'll show you where it is really executing the book or not. Okay, go to the recipes, go to the default recipe. What I will do, instead of DevOps, guys, let me call as the girls. Okay, now you try to run this. So then you should believe it, like the cookbook is actually running it, actually executing on your local machine, if it really reflects here. Right, now refreshes. Can you see this? So this is how you execute a cookbook on your local machine. But till now, whatever the exercise you did it, okay, which might be which might be useful for your practice learning purpose, but actually in the real world nobody will log into your server and run these things. Okay, nobody will install the chef SDK in your servers nothing but your environment servers. Look at this. Now till now you are doing entire stuff over here in your workstation. Okay, you didn't use your chef server, you installed such a big server here, you didn't use, and you didn't do any kind of deployments on the nodes. Okay, now this section, see, till now you practice everything on your chef workstation. So whatever we learned as of now, right, it's a kind of a practice for us to understand the terminology, what exactly we're doing it. Now the same cookbook, whatever the hello world cookbook is there, right, the same cookbook, instead of executing on your workstation, I wanted to execute on one of the node, one of the server. Node nothing but server here. If you wanted to run your cookbook on one of the node, okay, so what you're supposed to do, so that's what the actual real-time activity. Okay, in real world what we do, we run the cookbooks on the servers, not on your workstation. No point in running the workstation. You run it in the workstation only for just like preparing a script or cookbook, and just verify whether it is working fine or not. Okay, but the actual application of it is to run it on the some servers. Like, so in node 1 you prepare one cookbook, node 2 you prepare some, so all the cookbooks, okay, you run from the workstation but against the some other servers, not against your own machine. Okay, now let's try to run this cookbook on node 1. Okay, so node 1 nothing but the server. So now you go back to your instructions. See, I said node, right? Chef node. So I'm choosing the node 1, which is the 15.11. Now I need to run this cookbook against this node. But to run a cookbook against a node, now look at the prerequisite. Okay, this is pretty simple as of now, to run it on the same machine which is on the workstation. Now to run a cookbook on a node, and a node, or you can call it as a server, or you can call it as like anything, node or a server. Okay, what you're supposed to do, first thing is upload your cookbook to chef server. Okay, this is the first step you have to do it. Next, bootstrap the cookbook against the node, against the node or server. These steps you have to perform to run it on your what is called your other nodes, guys. Okay, so let's see how do we upload and all. Now you will understand actual workflow of like why we need these three components in the chef. Okay, so look at this. As of now you're working on the workstation. Now to run it on the node, right, first your job is to upload cookbook. If anybody remember the day 1 architecture, right, can you see number 1 here, upload cookbook. Okay, and the number 2 is run the cookbook against the node. Okay, and both of them you are supposed to do it in the workstation. Now that's what we are doing it now. Okay, so till now I did perform uploading and running a cookbook against the node, right? I did everything on the workstation. Guys, are you clear till here? Were you able to follow? Hemant, can you understand what I'm trying to say? Because
Yeah, yeah.
the flow is important here. Okay, so
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
come back to the workstation now. Now I'm in the workstation. Okay, now how to upload a cookbook to the chef server? First thing you have to complete that. Okay, first thing, how to upload a cookbook to the server. Okay, now same knife command you will use it. Okay, you will be having like cookbook upload hello world. Can you see the knife command only, cookbook only, instead of the create, it's upload. Okay, so that command it will be there. So now let's try to upload this. Knife cookbook upload hello world, and see whether it really uploads or not. Oh, something wrong, guys. The command might be wrong. Anything wrong with this cookbook upload hello world?
Cookbook, sir. Okay.
Oh, okay, cookbook. So if you do something wrong, right, it will show you help command. Can you see help? For knife, right, how many options are there? Can you see this? Cookbook tag, cookbook. You can find your whatever you are trying to run it actually. Roll, knife, cookbook. Somewhere you can find it. You look at alphabetical order. Cookbook, right? C will. Okay, now here you can see it. Can you see cookbook? Okay, knife, cookbook, upload cookbook. So you can upload multiple cookbooks also, space separated. So this is what the command you're trying to run it. Come down. Guys, it is successfully uploaded. Can you see uploaded one cookbook to your server? Huh? Now if you really wanted to, something happened, guys. Is it really uploaded? Server return error. Oh, let me check whether our chef server is running or not. What is the chef server IP address? .10 is our chef server. Okay, this is up. So SCM August, SCM 123 or at the rate 123. Don't remember the username password. What would I have given actually? Look at the chef installation. I can remember from here. SCM August password SCM123. Okay, SCM123. Okay, so guys, if it is really uploaded, you can find your cookbook name here. Go to the administration section, go to this one, and then you can find somewhere. Click on the node. Somewhere you can find it. Reports, administration, users, groups, role permissions, cookbooks. Yes, click on the cookbooks. Come on. This chef server takes so much of memory and all, guys. It's the permissions, but where are the cookbooks? Policy. Yeah, here it is. Under the policy, it is there, showing all cookbooks. Right now, you have only one cookbook, which is Hello World, which is you just uploaded it. Okay. Hey Praveen, today is not a chef first session, it's a third session. Okay. It is there in the subject which I sent to you, an email. So, Hello World. So this is what the cookbook which you uploaded. Now, if you look at your instructions, I'm done with my first step. Where is my address? I'm done with my first step, guys. Okay, this is successful. So once this is done, and the next thing is run the bootstrap command against a node. Okay, so to run the bootstrap command against a node, if you look at the architecture, okay, now let's take I'm running against the node 4. Okay, whatever, guys, I'm just doing against only one node, not all four. I don't have a 4 servers at the moment. I have only one server. Okay, so let me choose this as this is what my node. Okay, and the IP address of this machine is IP address of that machine is 11. Okay, right, this is what the IP address of the machine. Now I need to run my cookbook against this node. So to run that, first of all, this machine should be installed with chef client. That is what I told you. It should be installed the chef client. Okay, you don't need to do anything. You need a bare metal server. Okay, you don't need to do any chef client installation. Everything will be taken care by your bootstrap command. Now what exactly this bootstrap command, we'll see here. So the command is there in my instructions document. What is the chef basics? Yeah, knife bootstrap. Okay, it's a knife command only, but the option is bootstrap, not the cookbook one. Okay, just copy this command from here, come back. Now here, instead of this learn chef httpd, let's say hello world. Okay, now bootstrap against which node? What is the IP address of your machine? 192.168. Look at the architecture. 15.11. 15.11 sh root. Okay, sh user root, and make sure your user is having a root access. Okay, and what is the use okay, what is the username? It's a vagrant. And what is the password? Okay, vagrant. Okay, sudo, use sudo password. So it's the same thing, use sudo password. And node name nothing but you have to give some name to your node. Okay, see, chef will store your server with some name. Okay, Like every entity will be having some name, right? So here I have provided node 1. You can give it anything, like you would say Tomcat server. That's it, Tomcat server 1, whatever. You can give any name. So I'm just giving Tomcat server 1, right? So let's try to run this command, okay, and see. And now this command you have to run in your workstation at chef repo. Paste it, enter, and see how it works now. Now this time it is trying to connect. Can you see this? It is trying to connect to 15.11. Okay, and it is performing what? It is first installing chef client. Guys, did you observe? Chef client RPM it is trying to install now. Okay, so that's what I said. You don't need to worry about it. First it will install the chef client. Okay, then it will download the cookbook. So first time chef client installation will take more time because the chef client is almost around 60-70 MB. Okay, it needs to download that, install it, then download the cookbook, then install the cookbook, right? So you might be thinking, if it is taking so much of time, right? Every time it's a time taking. No, it's not every time taking. Only first time taking, because first time it will install the chef client. Second time or not, it will skip that, because chef client will be installed only once in a lifetime of a server. Okay, until unless you reinstall the operating system, it will not install it again. Okay, so for a one new server, it's a one-time activity, installing the chef client. Okay, next time onwards it will not do that. It will just proceed with your downloading a cookbook. Can you see second point here? Download the cookbook and execute the cookbook. That's it. Okay, like how it happened on your workstation, right? In a local mode. In local mode, it doesn't install any chef client. It's already there. See, chef SDK, if you install nothing but, it will already have the chef client as well. Okay, so it applies it. Now at this point of time, it is trying to download and install it. Now downloading is completed. Can you see this? Client download isn't completed. Okay, now it's prepared. It is trying to install it on the your node now, which is 15.11, and you can see where exactly it is running. Can you see this 15.11? All the things are running against this 11 machine. Okay, not in your machine. Now it is successfully installed. Now it is starting the chef client. So chef client should be up and running to run your cookbooks. Okay, now there is an error. Okay, I'll tell you what is the error. I understand this problem. So now the issue here is your node is unable to reach your chef server. See, what is the second point, guys? Download the cookbook. From where exactly it needs to download? It needs to download from your chef server. Okay, now to download from the chef server, what is your chef server DNS name? I mean the host name. Try to ping it. Chef dot, sorry, not from here. What is your server? From your server, guys, which is your Tomcat server. This is the one I have config. This is 15.10. 15.11. Where is it? Vagrant SSH. Vagrant ifconfig. Yeah, this is what the machine. Now you try to ping chef.mycompany.com from here and see. Guys, is it pinging? No, nothing but this host name is not resolving from this machine. Okay, that's the reason it is unable to download, okay, the cookbook from your chef server. Okay, now to make this, see, this is only for our practice demo purpose, but in the real time this DNS names will resolve, because these DNS names will be maintained by your IT support teams and it will be resolved everywhere. Okay, so now what I can do it to fix this issue at this moment, I can go to the etc host. Okay, I can add 192.168.16.15.10, right? Our chef server, what is the chef server IP, guys? 10, yes. So 10 chef.mycompany.com. Okay, now you save this. Now once you save, just try to ping. Is it pinging to your chef server now? So once it is started pinging, then you come back to your workstation again. Okay, now try to run the same command. Okay, now this time when you're running the same command, look at this. It's the second time, right? Running, it will not install chef client again. It's already there. Look at this. It will directly jump into downloading your cookbook and installing it and running it. See, it is starting the chef client immediately. It is not downloading. So it will be faster second time onwards. See, it is creating a new client. Now it is successfully could able to connect to your chef server. Now it is downloading. Can you see resolving cookbooks? Nothing but it is trying to download the Hello World. Oh, wait for a while. Let it complete. Let me see what is going on in the server. See some processor going on here. This is all your chef client is running. It shouldn't take this much of time. Let's see what is going on in the backend. If it is node is registered, you can find that node here. Tomcat server 1. Can you see Tomcat server 1? It is registered actually. So, but it is unable to get any data from that Tomcat server. Unknown, never. Can you see this? Yes, chef server is dying. Only 74 MB memory is left. Among 996, it is using 921. Yeah. Okay, this seems to be completed, but with some errors. Okay. So look at this, guys. So what happened exactly? Let's see. Ooh. Parent directory chef report does not exist. Cannot create home vagrant chef report ABCD. Why this ABCD is there? Let me see our recipe first. What exactly is there in our recipe? Cookbooks. Uh, Hello world. Recipes. Default album. Did you put it? Yeah, guys. Why did we put this actually? This is not required. Just remove this. And this file is also just playing around, right? So just remove that. But now it looks good. So guys, when you update the cookbook, right, make sure you upload it again. Without uploading, if you try to run this command, right, you know what will happen? It will download the old cookbook only. So always, whenever you upload it or whenever you update it, you just try to upload it. Okay. Now once you upload it, then run the same command. That's it, successful. Very like pretty simple it is. Now if you want to verify whether it's really successful or not, against which node you are running this cookbook? 11, 15.11. Guys, please check it out. With 11, your index.html. 15.16.11, 15.11 index.html. That's it. Here you go. So your node has been deployed with your cookbook, and your cookbook successfully deployed and is up and running. So this is what your chef workflow, guys. A simple basic workflow. Typically what we do it, we write the cookbooks, we upload to the chef server, we run against a node. This is what the process, okay? And that's the reason three important components. So when you run it against a node, what your cookbook will do it will first install the chef client, okay, only for first time. Second time onwards it will not install, okay? And then second thing is download the cookbook from your chef server and execute the cookbook, right? So guys, did you understand how it works against the node with the help of the chef server? Did you get it? Hemant, Praveen, Jagan. Because understanding the workflow is important. Otherwise, no point in learning the entire chef itself. Did you understand how it is working?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, keep it in mind, this important workflow. Now the rest of every stuff is, I mean, whatever you do it is all about writing the cookbooks, uploading it, running it, writing the cookbooks, uploading, running. So that's it, nothing else. So entire chef is all about writing the cookbooks only. The architecture is, that's it, there is nothing new in it. Okay, only the difference is now you will run against this node. If you have some other, like, DB and all, I mean any other server, you run against that server. That's it. So only the thing is you will change the IP address, okay, against the different nodes. You look at this command, right? Now you run against the 11. So tomorrow some other server, tomorrow some other server, and with the some other server, instead of hello world, some other cookbook. So number of servers, number of cookbooks. So that's how you manage your entire chef environment. Okay. So now with this information, right? Now you know the basics of the chef. You know how the basic deployments of it. Now let me proceed further. Some advanced things in the chef. Okay, now that's it from like an entire workflow point of view. Okay, now whoever is doing whatever they're doing, they does the same job. They run the bootstrap against the node and they deploy the cookbooks. Deploying a cookbook is equivalent to deploying your application. Okay, now once you know this basic stuff, right, now just go back to your the lead app deployment automation. Okay, how do you make the lead app deployment automation with the help of the chef? Okay, so to come into that mode, right, okay, before going to that mode, let's try to learn few more important concepts of the chef. Okay, then what we will do, we'll try to automate the entire lead app deployment automation with the chef. Okay, so that's a kind of this is what the theory part, that is a practical part. Doing the lead app deployment automation with the help of the chef is a practical part. Now whatever you're learning is a kind of a theory for you. Okay, so let's try to learn the few more things of the chef. Okay, which is, okay, let me talk something about attributes. okay, something about templates, something about file. Okay, file is already done actually. Okay, so now this attribute templates are typically for cookbook, guys. Okay, now when you prepare a cookbook, you have many things available in the directory, cookbook directory. You go to cookbooks and hello world. Guys, can you see here attributes folder, and can you see templates folder? You should know what exactly it contains actually. Can you see files folder? Okay, so, and can you see metadata RB? So somebody may ask you a question, what is a metadata RB? Okay, so now your all job is to understand this cookbook directory properly. Okay, then what are all the each and every attributes, and what are all each and every metadata elements, and what they do it, and where we use it. Okay, that we'll see one by one. If we do this, we are done with the basic stuff, then we can directly implement the lead app application. Okay, now first let me come to the attributes. Okay, so what do you mean by an attribute? Is something like a variable, guys. Okay, like in ant scripting it's like a property. That's it. Okay, so why do we use the attributes? So simple thing, I don't want to hard code anything in my cookbook. I want to make use of the variable, so that at any point of time, if I just change the variable, okay, I can make use of that variable everywhere. Okay, that's my concept. So let's try to create some attributes. Okay, before creating an attribute, let me show you where we can like what exactly the place we can replace the things with attributes. Okay, go to the recipes, default.rb. Okay, now look at this. This is what your file name, right? Okay, var www.index.html. This is hard coded. I don't want to keep it this is hard coded. I wanted to move it into an attribute like a property, guys. Okay, like now we are trying to do some what do you call generic cookbook. Okay, so index, okay, the syntax is wrong. I'll cross verify that. Just leave it for now. Now go to the attributes. Okay, you don't have any file here, so inside the attributes you have to create a new file called default.rb. okay, now you need to put an attribute now. Okay, so the attribute syntax I'll show you now. Written somewhere here. Where are attributes? Yeah, attributes defining. Okay, yeah, go to the attributes. See if directory exists, that's okay. If directory doesn't exist, create attributes folder and try to create a new file called default.rb. That's what we did, right? Default.rb, and try to assign attributes like this. Default equal to, okay, now this is index file Apache. Okay, so this is what my attribute name, and this is what the value. So once you define that, and how do you make use of that attribute? Okay, so that when it comes to making use of the attribute, so you will be using like this. Can you see node here? Okay, now the syntax I need to correct it over there. So let's try to update the recipes default.rb. This is the syntax of it. Hash flower braces. Okay, hash flower braces node, and this is not default, this is Apache. That's what I given here, Apache index file. Okay, so whatever you give it there, you have to give the same thing, and this should be in the single quotes. Let's see, try to upload this cookbook. Upload. If there are any errors, it will throw some errors. So I think the single quotes are not required, guys. because we're already including the single quotes over here. Then in that case, this should be double quotes. Yes. Okay. Now you bootstrap this. Oh, I need to bootstrap, right? Bootstrap. I'll just re-upload it again. That's it. It is created. You might be thinking, what is the difference between earlier and now? See, there's no difference. Only thing is, you move the hard-coded index.html path from your recipe to attribute. Okay. Now the advantage here is, tomorrow somebody asks, like, could you please change the path of the file? Okay. Now you no need to open the recipe. Instead, you go to the attributes. Okay, and default.rb. Now somebody came and asking, like, the index file has been changed and it's become now a.html. Okay, like a.html. Like, you just have to change it here. You don't have to worry about your recipe. Like, you're changing the variable value. You're not changing your recipe at all. Okay. Now you upload this. Upload the cookbook. Okay. Now bootstrap. Right. So a.html. There's no a.html at the moment. It is still going on. Once this is completed, you can find the a.html available over there. Right. Now you try to enter this. Can you see this? Hello, a.html is working now. So this is what the advantage of the attributes. You can declare an attribute and you can make use of. So it's not only one attribute. You can create n number of attributes. It doesn't look like only one attribute. It depends on your requirements. You can move many things into the attributes format. Okay. So that's a attributes purpose, guys. Okay. It is there again in the document. How to define, how to make use of it. Only thing is, here it is with a different resource actually. So different resources, execute another resource. Okay, execute is something like running a command on your remote machine, like SSH command. If you want, what I can do, I can run this command and I'll show you how exactly it works. Recipe default.rb. Okay, now this time what I will do, I'll try to include new recipe. Okay, run.rb, a new recipe. Same cookbook, new recipe. Okay, now executes some sample commands. That's a static one, guys. Now here, so what I'm trying to do it, echo hello, this is a run recipe. Okay, now I'm going to add this to home vagrant run.txt file, some file I'm creating, guys, with echo command. Okay, so just save this recipe. Now I save this recipe, right? Now you try to upload this. Okay, right? So when you upload it, now this time the second recipe is also uploaded. But when you look at the server, where is your server? This is what your server, right? Okay. Exit ifconfig 15.10. What is our server, right? Oh, no, I just forgot the server, right? 11, right? This is what, yeah. Sorry, this is what your server. ifconfig yeah, 11. Now, guys, look at this. Here, do you see run.txt? No. Okay. But now in your cookbook, you added a command to create a run.txt at home vagrant location. Okay, where is it? Look at this. You added a command called echo just create this run.txt with this content. Hello, this is a run recipe something. Okay, it's a simple command. See, this resource will execute this command on your remote machine, guys. That's it. Wherever is the machine, you run it. Okay, now I upload it. Let's try to bootstrap this. right? So let's check whether it is really created the run.txt or not. Is it created run.txt? No, because just by creating a recipe in the recipes folder is not sufficient. Now you have a two recipes, but no point in doing it. Only default.rb is executed always. Okay, run.rb not executed. So to make your run.rb executed, what you're supposed to do it in default.rb, you have to call, okay, your run.rb as well. So that can be done with includes, okay, run, like something syntax is there. I didn't remember exact the syntax. Let me check. Is it there anywhere? Let's go to chef recipe to include other recipes. Include underscore recipe. Yeah. What is the syntax? Yep. Include underscore recipe, guys. Okay. Include underscore recipe run. Now you try to upload this. Okay. Now bootstrap. What happened? Something wrong? Recipe run is not in the run list. Okay. I think we have to include the cookbook name as well. Just a second, guys. vi default.rb hello world run. Upload. Now bootstrap this. Yes. So you have to append your cookbook name as well in front of the recipe. Now it is running this. Can you see? It is creating run.txt. Now go back to your server this, and this time you see. Can you see run.txt? Cat run.txt. This is what the content. Hello, this is a run recipe. Okay. So this is how you can include multiple recipes. Now if you can write n number of recipes, you put it on the default.rb with that include statement. It will execute all those recipes as well. So this is how you run the multiple recipes. Okay. And you add the attributes. Now what next? Attributes is run. Now templates. What do you mean by template is? It's a kind of a, what do you call it? Content. Okay, let me show you that template example. See, suppose vi recipes, cookbooks, hello world, recipes, default order. Now look at this. I have some content called like one line. Tomorrow think about this is a 200 line content. Okay, 200 line file. So 200 line file loading here, it is like, doesn't make sense actually. It's like, doesn't look good actually in the recipe. Instead of that, what we can do it, there is a concept in cookbooks. I mean, concept nothing but there is another feature in the cookbook where you have templates. Can you see templates anywhere? Yeah, here. Get to the templates. Okay. Now go to the default. There's nothing is there. Now here you can create a template actually. So what I'm trying to create it, index.html. This is what the file I wanted to create it. Okay. .erb. Okay. Now if you extend that with a .erb file, nothing but this is a template. Okay. Now in this template you put your entire data. Okay. What are the 200 lines you have it, right? You put entire stuff. HTML. Like, let me take something. This some good website. Apache, and let's copy this guy's code. View source page. Okay. Paste it. It's a very huge page. Okay, let it be. Some content added here. Okay, now I have such a big content. If you want, you can check how many lines it is there. Okay, wc index.html. See, 390 lines file it is. Okay, the 390 file I wanted to embed in the index.html. So writing 390 files in a recipe doesn't make sense. Now what you can do it, you can add it in a template. Now this is a template file. Okay, now this template file, now what do you do it, you open your recipes, default.rb. Okay, now here what you can do it, instead of loading the content like this, okay, so you can make use of a template one. Okay, so the template syntax I'll show you. It is there in the beginning of the file itself. You can make use of the template recipe. Yep, can you see this? Make use of this template recipe. Okay, now you can make use of this. Paste it. Do. Okay, now in source here you are supposed to provide whatever the file you created there. You created index.html.erb, right? So that's what it is. Okay, now what I will do, I'll just try to comment out this, guys, because it's a duplicate work again. Same file, right? So I'm just commenting it out this. Now let's see how it works. Upload. Okay, now bootstrap. Right, now the content is added. If you want, now you can check it out. A.html, right? Enter. Guys, can you see this? You have a new HTML file. See, ignore the images and all. These are live pages, right? So it is updated. So this is what just shows. So this is how you can make use of a template resource as well, right? Now fine, so we are pretty much done with the important stuff. Now what I will do it, let's directly jump into our lead app application automation. Okay, so while doing that, we'll learn the rest of this stuff instead of like learning each and everything like this and going into the practice, right? Directly jump into the practice and I'll try to explain you how to handle those kind of installations and all. Okay, so let's move on to the deployment automation of lead app using chef. Okay, so the prerequisites. Okay, so prerequisite nothing but to deploy your entire environment, right? What do you need? You need two servers. Okay, two servers, and I need to prepare the cookbook such a way that it should install MySQL in one server and Tomcat in another server. Okay, so to install the MySQL Tomcat, I need the Java again. Okay, so I need to install even the softwares also with the help of the chef guys. Remember why we are gone for the chef kind of tools? We wanted to even automate the deployments of this kind of chef and all. I mean the deployments of your softwares, which is a software layer, which is a pass layer, also automated with the help of your tool, right? So how to install these softwares, okay, in your nodes, okay, and how do we deploy our application on top of it? Okay, and you might be thinking, do I need to write a cookbook to prepare a Tomcat installation? Do I need to write a cookbook to MySQL installation? Not required, guys. Okay, so you go to the chef supermarket, chef supermarket, right? So this is what your supermarket, where some other people, they already written the cookbooks for the most common important softwares. Okay, let me see MySQL. Search it. You just search it. Can you see here? Somebody already written the cookbook. Okay, for MySQL. You know to write it again. Okay. Now I want to search for HTTPD. Somebody already written. Okay, and I wanted to try with Nginx. Nginx. It's already there. So these kind of common things. Now I want for something for Java. I want to install Java. For Java also it is there, right? So these are all the open source, open community cookbooks where you can make use of them. Okay, and on top of it you can write your cookbook for your application. Okay, so that's the optimum way of automating your chef cookbooks. You don't try to write from the beginning for this Java, MySQL and all, because these are used by everybody in the whole the world. Okay, so somebody would have even the chef guys only certified that how to install it, because Java, whether you install, I install, or somebody install, it's the same. Okay, and that's the reason these kind of common generic things, they already written cookbooks, they upload into the chef supermarket. Okay, now what you need to know is how to download this cookbook. Okay, and how do I make use of it in my environment? That's what you need to understand. Now that stuff, okay, how to download the cookbooks from chef supermarket, how to download cookbooks from chef supermarket and use it, how do I use it? Okay, now if you know that, this part is completed. Okay, once this part is completed, and the third thing is you write your cookbook for your leader. Write cookbook for leader. Okay, so guys, tomorrow we are going to write cookbook for leader, and not only that, we are going to download some open source open community cookbooks as well. Okay, and install it. Okay, so don't miss tomorrow's session. It will be interesting, because we need to know in the real world application how you're gonna automate with the help of the chef, so that you will be learning it. Actually, till now it's only the theory kind of a part, like what all the components and what is there. That's what you learned in the chef. Now tomorrow you'll see actual application, how we will be writing the cookbooks for actual deployments. Okay, any questions still here? Hemant, Jagan, are we fine? You there, Jagan? Yeah, Hemant, do you have any questions?